The 2024 F1 season might not be over just yet, but the Drivers' Championship surely is. Max Verstappen clinched his fourth world title in Las Vegas off the back of arguably his most impressive season to date. The Dutchman is on top of the world at the moment, and he is at the absolute peak of his performance. Naturally, we look ahead to the future and ask, will he make it 5 in a row next year? But today I'm here to ask a different question. Did we just witness Max Verstappen's final F1 championship in his career? That might sound crazy at first, but in this video today I'm going to explore why it might be more likely than not for many reasons. If you want a breakdown of Max's fourth world championship and the stats behind it, check out this video here, which will be linked in the description below. At the age of 27, Max Verstappen has collected over 60 wins, 4 world championships, and is looking unbeatable in his current form. He's had a chokehold on the sport for the last 4 years, so why on earth would he stop now? Well, the idea of Verstappen retiring sooner than later isn't coming from me or other media. It actually comes from Verstappen himself, who has repeatedly stated he won't be hanging around for too long. And Verstappen reiterated these thoughts in the build-up to what has to be one of Max's favorite F1 venues, fabulous Las Vegas. In multiple different interviews, Verstappen stated his concerns of an ever-growing schedule and demanding media duties and what effect that has on his mindset to racing. He came flat out and said he won't be following in the footsteps of other F1 legends like Hamilton and Alonso, who are racing well into their 40s. But Verstappen's biggest concern of all is what effect his current and potentially future schedule has on his family. He made some very insightful comments about wanting to spend as much time with family while they are still here, and how that is far more important to him than the pursuit of more F1 championships. Coming from a 27-year-old who has the world by the you-know-what, it was refreshingly mature to hear Verstappen contemplating life outside the sport in which he has made his name. No doubt his family would be one of the primary reasons to leave F1 early, but something else in the build-up to the race weekend caught my eye, and this is what I believe to be the reason why we won't see Verstappen in F1 for much longer. His desire to test his talents in endurance racing is what might ultimately lure him away from the F1 circus. Prior to the Las Vegas Grand Prix, Verstappen took part in a Honda media event in which he got the chance to drive his first prototype machinery in real life. He piloted the Acura ARX-6 around the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for nearly a half hour of running. When asked by media following the run, Verstappen made it clear that his intention to drive in Le Mans and other endurance events is in his future plans. A move to endurance racing would perfectly suit Verstappen's driving talents and also his personal life needs. The World Endurance Championship in 2025, for example, only has 8 rounds spanning 8 countries, whereas F1 next year will race 24 times in 21 different countries. Endurance racing receives a lot less media attention and fanfare, and most importantly for Verstappen, it's just all about the racing. The current situation is that Verstappen's contract with Red Bull expires in 2028, but it is well known that there are some clauses in said contract that allow Verstappen to exit early if the team doesn't provide him with a good enough car. If he were to leave Red Bull and move to another team on the grid, where would he go? His name has been linked to Mercedes quite a few times this season, but would he really go and drive for his bitter rivals? Or would he go to an underdog team to reunite with some old friends who helped him to 4 Drivers' World Championships? The Aston Martin super team that is being built with Adrian Newey at the helm and powered by Honda would almost be too good to refuse for Verstappen. And did I mention Aston Martin has a new hypercar program that will enter the World Endurance Championship from 2025 onwards? It would be a perfect deal as he could drive a few more years in F1, then if he hates the new generation of cars, he could easily switch to endurance racing without any hassle. And the looming change in regulations might be the deciding factor in the 4-time world champion's future. A lot of questions surround these new cars and just how drivable they will be, and if they happen to be worse than the current ones. If they aren't more enjoyable to drive, you get the feeling Verstappen won't be extending his stay in Formula 1. So to conclude this video by circling back to the original question, did we just witness Max Verstappen's final F1 championship? Of course, we can't know the answer for sure, because it will depend on the driver, but ultimately whether his team can give him the car to fight for those championships. In his current form, Verstappen could win 8 drivers' titles if he wanted to, and if he had the car under him, but that's probably not going to happen. At the same time, it's also likely that he won't win another one either. 2025 will be ultra competitive with possibly 4 teams fighting at the front. With Red Bull on the ropes, the reality is that Verstappen might not have the car capable of winning a championship in the future. History also tells us that this is the case. Remember Red Bull's previous 4-time world champ. Sebastian Vettel won his 4th consecutive driver's title by ending the year with 9 straight victories and utterly dominating the competition. Little did we know at the time that it would be his final world championship in Formula 1. It would be crazy to imagine if history repeats itself for Verstappen and Red Bull, but such is the world of F1. The bottom line is this: whatever the career trajectory of Max Verstappen, enjoy his racing while he's still here. And the same can be said for the likes of Hamilton and Alonso. Appreciate the F1 legends while they are on track, because eventually, all good things must come to an end. Just like this video. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.